Not even Mr. Reed's here again. Yes? Todd, hi. Oh, good to meet you, Todd.
You need to pass these out. That way they have a small front of that.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Are those exhibits or?
They should probably want to.
Yeah, they're automatic, Joe.
Automatic, yeah. Okay. Okay, welcome, meeting of the Planning Board, Town of West Warwick, Monday, July 10th, 5 p.m. Elaine, can I have a roll call, members?
Joshua Barrett.
Here.
Joe Gardosek.
Here.
Anthony Petracca.
Here.
Felix Apollonia.
Here.
Joe DiMartino.
Here.
Wayne Miller.
Yeah. All right, item 1, review and approval of the June 5th, 2017 meeting minutes.
I'll move the motion.
Motion been made, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, comments? Meeting, minutes be approved as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
No opposition, that's motion passed. Item number 2, public informational meeting, 1029 Main Street, applicant Zaremba Program Development LLC, Assessors Plat 4, Lot 212, zoning district Business B and residential R8, land area 1.79 acres, and the applicant requesting approval to construct a commercial building with less than the required parking and a freestanding sign not to exceed 21 feet in height. Is people here to speak in favor of the applicant? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have marked for the record exhibit number 1, the application with the backup file, exhibit number 2, and a 6-page master plan dated May 23rd, 2017. Exhibit number 3, a phase 1 environmental site assessment. Exhibit number 4, a limited site investigation. Exhibit number 5, a petition for amendment to the zoning map. Exhibit number 6, the technical review committee report, and I just marked exhibit number 7, an aerial view of the property.
Thank you. Representing the applicant?
Yes, should I turn this on, or is it?
It should already be on.
Okay. Yes, my name is Todd Hamula. I represent the applicant. I work for Zaremba Group. Zaremba Program Development is the entity that is the applicant in front of you today.
Could you rate?
Sorry, can you just spell your last name?
My last name is spelled Hamula.
Could you raise your right hand, please? So I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
And your position with that?
I'm a senior development manager at Zaremba Group. I handle multiple projects. This happens to be one of my projects. Yes.
Okay.
Great. Well,
Question. Where are we with being represented by an attorney?
He's the applicant.
The attorney's here too.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
if okay with you, I actually suggested my 2 consultants that I would take the lead on the presentation. If you'd rather speak with my attorney or with my engineer, I brought them both with me tonight.
Not a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much for taking on the application tonight. I'm proposing a Dollar General retail development building. Dollar General is not, I know, they don't have a large presence in this area in Rhode Island, and we're hereby trying to establish a store in the town of West Warwick. About a year ago, we set off with Dollar General to identify various different sites, communities that they wanted to enter. This was one of them that they had earmarked. We've been looking at this site for almost about a year. We've done a considerable amount of due diligence on it, soils reports, environmental reports, to basically understand that the site can be developed as we're proposing. However, we do need a zoning change from what's currently there. The property is currently zoned R8 in the back and Business B in the front. The Business B portion in the front is just not big enough to support the project that we're proposing. So we're asking to basically push the line back a little further into the R8 zone. And I'll show you that here on a map. line right here, just invisible lines it all the way up. This is all zoned the B business. This is the portion back here we're asking to change from R8 to B business, so that we can construct a 7,500 square foot retail building, 30 parking spaces, and the necessary infrastructure for sewer, water, storm sewer for the project. We have the entire site under contract. We don't own the property. Our purchasing of the property is contingent upon getting certain approvals like the zoning, the master plan amendment, your recommendation here tonight. So we go through a series of steps knowing that we can actually build the project for our retailer. And once we know that we can, then we purchase the property and we start construction immediately thereafter. That's our goal. The master plan amendment also includes a couple of other special provisions. Let me just point them out to you. My attorney mentioned that I needed to make sure I mentioned those. On top of the 7,500 square foot building, 30 parking spaces, which I know is under what your code requires. Dollar General has around 13,000 stores nationwide. 30 parking spaces is on 99% of their sites. So they know that that's the amount of parking spaces that works for them. No need to build more parking spaces, have more pavement than we need for this project. We also included in there signage not to exceed certain square footages. We figure we go ahead and submit the signage that they would like, they desire for the property. So we have a pylon sign out on the front, not to exceed 97.50 square foot. And there's 2 buffer yards, a side yard buffer of 10 foot and a rear yard buffer of 10 foot to make sure that those buffer yards are acceptable with the zoning change.
Excuse me one moment. For the planning board, procedurally, what has just been brought before you, the parking and the signage, well, they're giving you that information, and that can go into your decision as to whether or not you are favorable on this project. In this particular instance, the planning board does not have any say over the parking per se or the signage. When they go to the council for the change of zone, that is a matter for the council to decide, not the planning board, just so that you can take it into consideration as you're deciding. But you're not going to be the decision-making body on whether or not they get a variance for those 2 items.
Understood. Okay, thank you. I'm here to answer any questions you have about the project, about my company, about myself, and what we're proposing to do. With your recommendation tonight, we go forward to the next meeting for the public hearing. Our goal is to build this store next year. So this would be a March, April start of construction. This time of year, probably store opening. So that would be our goal for the project. My understanding is the date is August 1st, when we've set the date. I mean, it should be a great convenience for the area, and we're also trying to preserve the buffer in the back so that we're not impeding, very much further into the residential area.
Right now, we presently send buses in and bus them out and stuff like this, so.
Question.
Yes, sir.
It's roughly 7,500 square feet of building.
Yes.
I've seen a few Dollar General, one that went up recently, past year, West Shore Road. It's been subdivided, and there's another shop. That's usually what happens with these buildings. That one does have another,
No,
like a nail spa or something.
sure. So,
Would that be mentioned?
no, it would not. I'm not familiar with that project, but it appears that it sounds like they built more on the site because they could, and so they took advantage of.
Basically, this would be all Dollar General.
This would be a standalone Dollar General. Yeah, this is actually their smaller building. They have a larger building, 9,100 square feet. So this is the small footprint for Dollar General. So really no space to subdivide anybody else on here. I also brought the elevations. We brought them, and I'll put them.
Okay.
So the building is a metal building. It's 85 by 85. There's a vestibule in the front. The entry feature has masonry around the entry feature with a metal storefront above it, and then there's a wainscoting on both sides of the entry feature. It's a flat roof building. The HVAC equipment is on the top, and it's shielded from the street view from that entry feature. And then this is Dollar General signage. This is their corporate image that they're trying to portray.
Shop cutoff fixtures on the sides.
I'm sorry, sir?
Shop cutoff light fixtures,
Oh, yes, you're talking about the lighting fixtures?
lighting and side lighting.
Correct. It's all what do I want to say here? Not metal halide. It's all LED lighting fixtures. So all those lamps are all kind of focused, and so you don't get the spillage that we used to get on the old style fixtures. Yep.
So just looking at your narrative, your 418-17 narrative, and it's indicating the building will be located 18 feet from the north side property line.
Is this the
It
narrative?
says, yeah, the second paragraph, where you're starting, proposed project is to demolish the existing site and construct 7498 square foot Dollar General. Building will be located 18 feet from the north side property line.
Yes, I follow. I see that.
So you got parking on the front and the southerly side. Mark, that 18 feet from
Yep.
from the north side property line, is there a reason he's indicating that?
Just showing you the setback, I think the requirement's 15 feet, so they exceed the side yard
Okay,
setback.
all right, so you do exceed it.
Yeah, this building, with the zone change, will exceed all required setbacks under the zoning code. And that's why they're extending the zone change a little bit beyond the setback of the building to accommodate, you can see a little drainage basin on that plan there. That looks like a little putting green on the plan. And across the line, so they'll be leaving, I think, maybe a 20 or 30-foot buffer between the building and the zone line to give a substantial buffer. And then the remainder of the property, as it extends back into the residential zone, is going to remain zoned residential and left in its existing condition.
What's the hours of operation?
So they open up 8 o'clock in the morning, and they close at 10 o'clock at night. And that's Monday through Saturday. On Sundays, they close at 6 o'clock typically.
There's a Family Dollar going up a block away. Can you explain the difference between a Dollar General and a Family Dollar for me?
My understanding, and I'm fairly familiar with them, they do compete, no different than Rite Aid and CVS Pharmacy competes. Okay, they have the same type of goods and services in their store, maybe set up a little bit differently, but they're very comparable. Yes. Neither of those stores are considered dollar stores.
In-
Yeah,
in-
okay.
Yeah, do you mind, Mr. Chairman? In speaking with the attorney, my understanding is that Dollar General actually provides more food product than the dollar store, in that while they are competitors, they actually complement each other, in that the dollar store is more focused towards food. Is that correct?
Dollar General.
About
I mean Dollar General.
About 70% of the store, I can tell. I can't really speak to Family Dollar, but I can tell you that Dollar General, about 70% of their store, my project is devoted to food product, whether it's frozen food or it's dry food.
Okay,
So the
that
others-
explains the difference, okay.
Okay,
That's, yeah, that's much more than typical in a Family Dollar, to
Sure.
my understanding. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Well, even though the parking is not our review, is it 38 or 37? Because one place on here is 38, but under the planning office review, it's on your write-up, it said 37.
Yeah, they probably rounded up.
Should be 38, right?
Yeah, no, it's 37. They rounded up.
Is it 37?
Yeah, if you look in the zoning code, if it's a fraction of a space, the zoning code says to round down.
Okay,
And I think they rounded up. So that's the difference.
okay. And that means we're short
8 spaces.
8 spaces, 7 or 8 spaces. Okay.
7 spaces,
7
yes.
spaces, okay.
I also brought this, I'll hand this to the chairman. This is a little bit of information about Dollar General, and you'll see in here, it'll list the goods,
Great.
the name brand goods and services, kind of give you a couple glances of what the inside of the store looks like.
We don't have that as an exhibit.
Yeah.
Did you say there are other Dollar Generals in the area?
You know, we built a couple of Dollar Generals in the area, but
Joe?
North Providence is one that we built.
Okay.
Yep,
Is Dollar General is a public company, correct?
they certainly are, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm marking that as exhibit number 8.
Okay. Thank
What
you.
are you entitling it?
All right.
Dollar General brochure.
That makes perfect sense, Al, thank you.
Okay.
Where'd you get the title?
Any other questions of the applicant? Any other questions of the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there others in the public that want to speak about this application? Come on up, get sworn in. Okay.
Hello.
Raise your right hand. Who's going to swear on
Now
that?
you can
Can you state your name and address?
My name's Randy DeLuz, D-A-L-U-Z. My address is actually number 9 Knight Street.
Okay.
I just had a...
You
Well, you
Swear
have to
to
be
tell-
sworn in.
Okay.
swear? Go ahead.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just have a quick question. This portion here,
Yep.
is that part of this whole lot?
Yes, and the testimony was that that portion of the lot will remain as is. Will remain zoned residential, the current zone, and it's not part of the development plan for this application.
And that could never be changed in the future?
But it could, but they'd have to come back to us,
Okay.
okay? Yeah, the likelihood is slim. Yeah, 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 yeah. So if anything to happen on the back part of the lot would require coming back to the planning board. If someone 10 years from now decides they wanted to put houses in there, they could submit a plan and come in and try to get it approved. It's totally landlocked, so it would be complicated.
Yeah, where would the right-of-way be?
Yeah, it would be very difficult and complicated. Yeah, yeah, and right now, there's no anticipated development of that part of the site at all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the public? Okay, so if not, I'll entertain a motion for preliminary approval,
Master plan?
master plan approval for the site plan, and then we discuss that and vote on that, and then we will vote on recommendations to the town council to discuss around the zoning change. Okay, so first,
I'll move the motion for approval.
Second?
moved and seconded. Any further conversation, further discussion?
A second, Joe.
Yeah.
Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Second, now, the amendment to the town zoning map. This proposed project requires a portion of the rear property obtain a zone change from R8 to B, and obtain relief from the parking requirements and sign size. This decision will be made by the town council subsequent to a recommendation from us. And even though we can make a recommendation, it's totally the town council's decision. So I would entertain a motion that we recommend approval and that we we recommend that the council approve these.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any further discussion about this? I mean, I think we've covered it all, but is there, any further discussion? If not, none? Okay, let's, all those in favor?
Aye.
And that passes. Thank you. Good luck with the town council. We think this will be a welcome addition to the town. Thank you. Okay, last item, item 4, public comment.
Todd, could you send me an email of that rendering of the building for my file?
No, just public comment. This is it. So this is, the public is here. Anyone wants to come up and make comment, here's your chance.
Tell Tim he did a great job.
Wayne, looking at this in Harris
You
Avenue,
want to come up for each? Okay.
your stupid father,
All right, well,
we're
Public
seniors in
comments?
high school. I get a call, snowing like crazy. I get a call from your idiot father. And he
I think
says
they're here
to
for a
me,
pension meeting, Joe.
Is anyone, no public comment? Apparently not. Okay. I would entertain a
I'll
motion
move
that
the
we adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Meeting's adjourned.
You guys
So he
wanna-
calls me up before school and he says to me, "You want to make some money today?" And I said,